Sunny 26, Saturday windy, a possible late shower 27, Sunday showers increasing 7.
We're gonna find out, pretty mama, what turns on your lights.
There's a story of a successful Melbourne criminal lawyer named Rick Peterson who puts his newfound ability of lucid dreaming to work to create a nostalgic dream destination called Wellstone. It's a perfect country town, always 1959 and always perfect, until a grisly murder shakes Rick's lucid world. That is intriguing, and that is the beginning of the plot of a novel called Lucid, and it's by a lady I've known for many years, Muriel Cooper. A good evening to you.
Good evening, Andrew, and how lovely to be talking to you.
I know we go way back to 3AW and Latrobe Street, don't we?
We do.
Yes, indeed. Well, you had flaming red hair, and you were the envy of every, lady around the place, as I remember.
Look, Andrew, I'm so glad I don't have that flaming red hair anymore, because I'd be, in COVID times, it would be a disaster.
Oh, you have? Yes, that's true. You haven't done a Lucille Ball and get the old dye bottle out then?
No, not at all. Now I've gone grey.
Oh, well, yes, except that I've had to do. I look like I've got hair that's like sort of white fairy floss. It's terrible.
Well, mine's white too, but I'm lucky because it kind of looks a bit like Marilyn Monroe.
I'm actually looking at a photo of you now. You're right, it does a bit. It's a bit like mid-career Monroe. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're talking about Lucid. This is your first novel, isn't it, Muriel?
It is, and I started it a very long time ago, actually, just after I left 3AW, and I was waiting to go to university to study psychology, and I had about 6 months to fill in, and so I thought, well, how am I going to fill in this time? And so I got the idea for it back then, and I started it, and I've kind of gone back to it over the years, but I didn't seriously return to it until about 2 years ago.
So this novel, Lucid, has something of a time travel feel to it.
Well, what started me off originally was the idea of lucid dreaming. And when I actually got that idea back in 1991, it wasn't a very well-known idea. And I came across it because I was very interested in psychology, and I was very interested in the nature of reality and the nature of dreams, because dreams can sometimes appear extremely real to us.
Oh, yes, that's true.
So with lucid dreaming, it's another layer on top of that reality of dreaming, where when people lucid dream, it is actually like reality. It's like an alternate reality. It's almost like a hallucination.
Yes. Have you experienced it yourself?
Look, Andrew, I try really hard. and you can actually learn to do it. You can learn to do it. And I have tried to learn how to do it. And it's been quite a long time that I've been trying. And only quite recently, actually, in the last month or so, I have actually made some progress, because I've had some very, very vivid hallucinatory dreams. And I've actually... one of the reasons how you know that you're succeeding is that you know you're lucid dreaming. And I had a dream about 2 or 3 weeks ago where I actually said to myself in the dream, I am having a lucid dream. This is a lucid dream. And so I know that I'm on the way. Some people spontaneously develop it, but for some others it takes a long time.
It's interesting, isn't it? It's a wonderful concept you've based this novel around, but to develop it into a sort of it has a crime flavour to it, doesn't it, of course?
Yes, because the hero, Rick, he's got a lot of problems in his personal life, right? Not in his professional life. He's a very successful lawyer, but in his personal life, he has problems with relationships, and these sort of come out in his dreams. So one night he just spontaneously has a lucid dream, and he has no idea what it is. He's really frightened by it, because it is so close to reality, but he knows it's not reality. He knows that his body is actually lying in his apartment in Albert Park.
Good heavens. It's rather wonderful. I love it. The sound of this, it appeals to me, and I think it will to a lot of people. I had a dream that was so lucid for years, not anymore, I haven't had it for 40 years, but when I was a teenager and a young man, I was on a wet pier with water washing across it. Seawater, wetting and it was a wooden pier. And I walked and walked on that pier, and it was so real to me. You don't know, Muriel. And then I would have that dream 10 times a year, and then nothing. It's amazing, isn't it, what the human mind does?
Interesting. So you had this recurring dream that was very vivid.
Oh, yes.
It felt like reality.
Oh, yeah. I could smell the air, the salt air, and the water washing across the wooden planks and the whole thing. Yeah, and a grey sky.
Actually, it sounds very lucid to me.
It does, doesn't it? Yes.
It does. But
you
only had that one lucid dream. You didn't have any others?
Not that I remember. No.
Yeah. And did it mean anything to you at the time? Like, when you had the dream, could you relate to it as a pier?
No.
With water washing across it?
Well, I lived in St Kilda, and there was a pier there, but
Yes, I suppose that's the literal meaning of the dream. I'm sort of thinking of a more sort of metaphorical meaning, because dreams are very metaphorical. They're very archetypal. They're very symbolic. So the pier at St Kilda, although you lived in St Kilda, so you saw this pier every day, but it may actually have had some other alternate meaning for you. And water, dreams it's very hard to interpret dreams. People do this for a living, and I'm always very suspicious of that, because dreams are very personal to the dreamer. But there are some symbols that are archetypal and common across people, and one of them is water.
Ah.
So water is symbolic of the emotions.
Yes.
It's archetypal of the emotions.
Yes.
So you're going along the pier, and the water is actually washing over the pier.
Yes, but not to the point where I ever felt threatened by the water. It's just rising up between the planks, between the cracks in the wood.
Right.
But it's okay, and I was fine. I walked, but it must have been an enormously long pier, because I seemed to walk for 20 minutes on it and didn't come to an end. Anyway,
Actually, as a psychologist, I think that's quite an optimistic dream.
Really?
Because you're walking along the pier and the water is threatening to inundate the pier, but it isn't.
No, it never did. No.
Yes, which indicates to me that you're going through a period where perhaps you are being challenged by emotions.
Oh.
But you're able to deal with them. They're not overwhelming you.
That's interesting. I think you're a psychologist, Muriel. I think I need to book a session with you.
You want to book a session?
Hey, I'm not going to get a bill for this, am I, at the end here?
No, it's complimentary.
Oh, thank you. And have you got a comfy couch in your office?
Very comfy. My dog, Luna, has been occupying it since the pandemic.
Oh, really? Of course, yes. Yet another victim of the lockdowns and all that. Look, we've got to get back to the novel. And where can people buy Lucid? Is it out yet? I don't know quite the details here.
Lucid has been released, and people can order it through Amazon. So if you just Google Muriel Cooper and Lucid, you will come across various ways to acquire it. So you can order it through Amazon, you can order it from the publisher, Pegasus Publishing. So all you've got to do is put in your search engine my name and Lucid, and it'll take you to where you need to go. But it opens up a whole range of possibilities, because reality is so subjective, and reality is something that philosophers have spent endless amounts of time debating and talking about. And so this is only the first novel in a series of novels. Initially it's going to be a trilogy where the hero, Rick Peterson, explores other dimensions of his lucid world.
Good heavens, I like this. I'll just recap again. Lucid, a psychological murder mystery fantasy exploring the lucid dreaming and the nature of reality. Fascinating stuff. Thank you so much, Muriel. It's lovely to make your acquaintance again after all these years, and all the very best with Lucid and what comes after.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Lovely to talk to you.
Muriel Cooper.
Dream, 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 dream. Dream, dream, dream when I want you. In my arms when I want you. And all your charms whenever I want you. All I have to do is dream. Dream, dream, dream when
Oh, good to hear Don and Phil again. You know, sadly, they didn't get on for years and they didn't speak and didn't perform towards the end of their lives.